Are you a new lacrosse player, or maybe a family that's new to lacrosse? Or maybe you're just a lacrosse player that wants to get better at lacrosse? Do I have the thing for you? This is a brand new book brought to us by Patrick Chapla. And if you're not familiar with Pal Lacrosse, Pal Lax is all over every social media channel, and frankly part of the inspiration for my channel as well, because he's doing fantastic stuff helping people understand the game of lacrosse. And not only did he do it via social media, he's now got this awesome book. He's been doing it for a really long time. He knows his stuff, and this book reinforces it. So let's talk about some of my very favorite things that are in this book. First and foremost, the book takes us through a history lesson of lacrosse. If you haven't heard the history lesson of lacrosse, how it came about, why do we play it like we do today, come on, you are missing out. It is the oldest sport in North America. That's right, it is the oldest sport in North America. Don't let anybody tell you any different. It is a gift to us from the Native Americans, which was a gift to them from their creator. This is an amazing sport that just connects you to the world around us. We've got some awesome, really cool, famous lacrosse players. You'll see that in this book. And then just a basic understanding of what is lacrosse and how do we play. That's how the book begins. But what's also really awesome is it gives us ways to watch lacrosse, talks about how to watch lacrosse. Shout out to Spirit Rangers. I'm so glad it made it into this book. If you haven't seen the Spirit Rangers episode, Netflix. It also gives you so many terms. If you're unfamiliar with the game, the first few pages are going to get you hooked up with what are the terms in the lacrosse field? What do certain things mean? Why are the boundaries set the way they are? Just what is lacrosse? That's what this book starts off with. Really good stuff. The next steps, we start to get into gameplay, how the game goes. I love his phases of the game graph right here. I think this is just a really cool way to kind of show what goes on the lacrosse field. But again, throughout the entire gameplay section, you're learning more and more lacrosse terms. So if you're unfamiliar with the game, you got to read this section. Then he gets into choosing the right stick. He talks a little bit about the wooden sticks of the past, but choosing a right stick today, this is one of the biggest issues. This is one of the largest hurdles in the entire lacrosse world today, is new players not getting the right stick. He talks at length about choosing the right stick. Don't just buy any beginner stick off the shelf. Read this book. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do. It gets into the basics of equipment. That's a very important piece of it. What equipment do I need? What equipment do I not need? Where do I find such equipment? All of this right here in the book. And speaking of equipment, what about backyard training equipment? A lot of it in the book. After you get past the history, the equipment, the stuff you can use to get better at home, he talks about how to get better at home. He talks about how to hold a stick, how to pick up ground balls, how to cradle, switching hands, like minutia. We're not talking about just passing, catching ground balls. He goes into the minutia. You want to get into shooting? He doesn't just talk about shooting. He talks about time and room. He talks about shooting on the run. He talks about shooting in tight spaces. And you want to know something even better about this book? Is there are QR codes. If you take out your little handy dandy phone and you go and you scan a QR code, so here I'm looking at the tight shooting page on page 87, it takes me to a YouTube video where now I can learn about how to shoot in tight space.
This is the Pal Lax Backyard, where I'll be teaching techniques and how to...
Are you kidding me? This book is not only a written document that you could go back to, it also has the ability to translate to video and get you to the exact right spots. Come on now, if you haven't run over to Amazon yet to buy this book, what are you waiting for? And not to be left out, defense, we've got the ABCs of defense. We've got goalie situations, things that goalies can work on. There's a warm-up routine for goalies. This isn't even a book. This is a field guide. This is a resource. This is something you're going to go back to again and again and again because of all those drills. Because of the, hey, what should I do when I go to the store and look for a stick? There is so much good information in here. If you are new to the game, a new family to the game, or you just want to get better at lacrosse, I recommend you check this book out. It is a great resource. It is money well spent. And again, it's not just the book. There's so much more, including those QR codes to videos. This is a really awesome product. Patrick Chapla did a fantastic job on this book. He knows the game, he knows what you need to know, and it's all in here. If you've got any other book recommendations, I'd love to hear about them. Comment them down below. Let the entire community see. That wraps it up for us this week. We've got so much content coming out this spring. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and I can't wait to see you next time. But until then, don't forget the little things. This is the one and only, that's right, this is the one and only Parent's Guide. The Parent, this is my new favorite book. Let's talk about the player and